Are you confused about good debt and bad debt? Don't worry, we are here to help. Debt can be a scary thing, but understanding the difference between good and bad debt is key to financial success. In this video, we will discuss the basics of good and bad debt and how to manage it responsibly. We will explore the different types of debt, their advantages and disadvantages, and how to manage them wisely. So if you want to learn how to make the right choices when it comes to debt, just stick around. So don't waste any more time, let's get started. As we all know, debt is a common part of modern life. It is often necessary to borrow money to purchase a home, car, or pay for education. However, not all debt is created equal. Understanding the difference between good and bad debt is crucial to managing your finances effectively. So, what is good debt? Good debt is debt that is used to purchase an asset that will increase in value over time or generate income. Examples of good debt include a mortgage, student loans, or a small business loan. These types of debts can help you build wealth over time and increase your net worth. On the other hand, bad debt is debt that is used to purchase things that decrease in value over time, such as credit card debt or personal loans used for vacations or entertainment. This type of debt is often associated with high interest rates and can quickly spiral out of control if not managed properly. Now that we have a basic understanding of good and bad debt, let's explore the different types of debt and how to manage them wisely. Mortgages are a common form of good debt. They allow you to purchase a home, which is typically an appreciating asset. However, it's important to manage your mortgage responsibly by making payments on time and ensuring that you don't borrow more than you can afford. A general rule of thumb is to keep your housing costs at or below 30% of your income. Student loans are another form of good debt. They allow you to invest in yourself by obtaining an education that can lead to higher-paying job opportunities. However, it's important to research your options and borrow only what you need. Student loans can quickly become unmanageable if you borrow too much or don't have a plan to pay them off. Small business loans are also a form of good debt. They can help you start or grow a business that generates income and builds wealth over time. However, it's important to have a solid business plan and only borrow what you can realistically pay back. Credit card debt is a common form of bad debt. It's easy to accumulate high balances and get trapped in a cycle of making minimum payments that barely cover the interest charges. To avoid this, it's important to use credit cards responsibly and pay off the balance in full each month. If you can't pay off the balance in full, make sure to pay more than the minimum payment to reduce the balance as quickly as possible. Personal loans are another form of bad debt. They are often used for non-essential purchases, such as vacations or entertainment. To avoid this type of debt, it's important to save up for these purchases and avoid borrowing money unless it's absolutely necessary. So, how can you manage your debt effectively? Here are some tips. Make a budget and stick to it. This will help you track your spending and ensure that you don't overspend. Pay your bills on time to avoid late fees and damage to your credit score. Avoid borrowing more than you can realistically afford to pay back. Focus on paying off high-interest debt. Now that we've discussed the different types of debt and their advantages and disadvantages, it's time to talk about how to manage debt wisely. The first step to managing debt is to create a budget. You need to understand where your money is going and how much you can afford to spend on debt payments each month. This means tracking your expenses and income and creating a plan for your spending. Next, you should prioritize your debt payments. Start with the debts that have the highest interest rates, such as credit cards, and work your way down to the debts with lower interest rates, such as student loans. By paying off the high-interest debts first, you will save money on interest payments in the long run. Another important step in managing debt is to communicate with your creditors. If you are having trouble making your payments, it's important to reach out to your creditors and explain your situation. They may be willing to work with you to create a payment plan or offer other options to help you get back on track. It's also important to be mindful of your credit score. Your credit score is a reflection of your credit worthiness and can impact your ability to get loans, credit cards, and even a job. Make sure to make your payments on time and keep your credit utilization low to maintain a good credit score. In addition to managing your current debt, it's important to avoid taking on more debt than you can handle. This means being cautious about taking out loans and credit cards and only borrowing what you can afford to pay back. One way to avoid taking on too much debt is to build up an emergency fund. An emergency fund is a savings account that can help you cover unexpected expenses, such as a car repair or medical bill, without relying on credit cards or loans. Aim to save at least 3 to 6 months' worth of expenses in your emergency fund. Finally, it's important to remember that debt is not always a bad thing. In fact, some debt can be considered good debt if it helps you achieve your financial goals. For example, taking out a mortgage to buy a home or borrowing to finance a business can be a smart financial move. Just make sure to manage your debt responsibly and avoid taking on more debt than you can handle. In summary, managing debt wisely involves creating a budget, prioritizing debt payments, communicating with creditors, being mindful of your credit score, avoiding taking on too much debt, building an emergency fund, and understanding that not all debt is bad. By following these tips, you can take control of your debt and achieve financial success.